be another week.
Yes,
We got
indeed.
3 more days left to go for the month. Well, 4 more.
Yeah.
4 more.
Truly crunch time when you got these last few days. I've already kind of planned to be here on my normal day off because I'm just close enough where.
So your day off is on Thursday, like mine.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Friday is our last day of the month.
Right. Thursday might as well be the last day of the month. I mean,
How can anyone in the car business that has got to perform, has got to produce, has got to make a paycheck for his or her family, how in the world can you take off? Well, on the last week of the month, maybe if it's in the first part of the month, first part of the week,
yeah.
and you're having a pretty good month, possibly. But toward the end of the month, I mean, it's the end of the month. You have to go.
I see the finish line, and I've got to sell a certain number. Of course, every month we have a goal. Every week I have my own personal goal. You know, trying to get at least 4 or 5 per week. You know, so stay on top of things and don't fall behind, because trying to make up for it in the last week of the month, and it's possible to really have a banner week and come out doing well, but you can't wait that long. You can't procrastinate.
There's an old saying in the car business that a week can make a month,
right,
or a day can make a week. All that's true, but consistency week per week per week. So getting that 4 to 5 per week is going to send you on a trajectory of 15 to 20 cars.
Right.
And that consistency is what's going to, because look, if you sell 5 cars in 1 week, that's a great week.
Yeah.
That's a great week in this business.
For sure.
So, you know, a lot of folks think, you know, you go out there and you sell 2 or 3 cars a day, right? So selling 2 or 3 cars a day, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The business
No.
isn't built that way for that to happen.
You had to be a dog.
Well, I mean, in small cases, you've got lifers in the business, been in the business for 25 years.
Right.
They've never moved off the sales floor.
Yeah.
They've stayed consistent at the same store the entire time. When you build up your book of business that far and with that much reach and everything, every once in a while, in a blue moon, you'll have folks lined up. And yeah, you may sell 2 cars a day. That is very, very rare in our industry. Not to say that it can't happen, but it's very, very rare in our industry that somebody's got that much of a book of business that does that. So, and the way people shop now kind of changed that as well.
Right.
So.
That's right. Yeah, it's sad to say, I guess when I got into the business, the loyalty factor kind of fell off a little bit. Part of it, I think, is the internet, you know, just taking such a forefront in people's minds as being more price conscious, and you know, the market dictating that too, with things always going up every single year.
Yeah, can we say it's in your face?
Yeah.
So when somebody begins car shopping, a customer with a certain set of loyalty patterns and everything, they have usually one trusted automotive advisor, sales consultant that they consult with and that they buy from, right?
Right.
And that is that loyalty customer. Well, think about it. As things go and everything's in your face as a customer, you're talking about with, let's say, like you have a friend and you're sitting outside and or barbecuing or something, and you're talking about, oh, I may need a new truck. Well, guess what? Next thing you know, you're looking on your phone, and then now you have an ad for a Chevrolet truck or a Ram truck or a Ford truck sitting right there in front of your face. So everything that we have today and everything is kind of pushed on us. And whenever we're human, right? So a lot of times we're going to possibly go with something that doesn't require a lot of effort. It's right here in front of our face. Yes, this isn't my normal sales consultant that I use, but let me click here and see what happens. And then that's how it
snowballs.
starts. That's how it starts. So.
It can, anyways. Yeah. That's and I don't really take it personally when somebody goes off, you know, and doesn't even talk to me. Just saying that it does hurt a little bit, especially if I know somebody really closely. But I also understand that I don't have every single car in the market here, and that trends change and people's things that they like change, and you know, people are going to be people.
Yeah, you can never really take things personal. You hate to see it. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And it happens to you where I call it my customer sort of cheated on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's how it feels.
But and that's all well and good and everything. Can't take it personal and everything because I want them to recapture their business again.
Right.
And if I take it personal, guess what? They're going to feel that, and I don't want them feeling that because I want another shot at that. I mean, guy who we talked about in the showroom store yesterday, Dale. Mm-hmm. Not yesterday, but last week.
Yeah.
But Dale and everything, Dale went the path of a Toyota, right? He went the path of a Toyota. I didn't want that to happen. And, he was just like, matter of fact, he was like, Brian, I bought a Toyota 4Runner, man. And then
going to come up that way, like, not regretting it, but, begrudging that he had to tell you.
Well, he had to tell me and everything. Yeah. He was like, man, I bought a Toyota, Brian. Yeah. And I was like, Dale, man, that's cool, man. Yeah. That's cool. Now, did I feel some way about it? Maybe, but I didn't let it show or whatnot. But here's the whole thing. Me and Dale remained friends. And guess what? About 4 or 5 months later, he comes around and says, I don't like this Toyota, Brian. I want to get in a Jeep.
Yeah. Right.
And it plays out that way.
Yeah.
So you can't really take things personal. No, you can't do that.
Yeah, but I every month I'm trying to recapture some business sometimes because we went through a little bit of a lull with the previous CEO, where our product line changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we lost some customer base, and it wasn't our fault. It was more like the tides changing, focusing more on EV, EPA, and saving gas and that sort of thing, which I'm not against. I think that the intentions were in the right place, but it completely shifted our customer base away. Not all of it, but a good section of it away. It hurt.
Yeah, it really did. And so, if you really think about it, what they tried to do was they tried to sell here in North America, more specifically the United States, with a European model of selling. Mm. And that Stellantis is Home's office is in Europe. Okay, so they had Alfa Romeo, Fiat, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and several other brands. Okay, so what sells over there in Europe does not go well here in the United States of America. Yeah. Here in the United States of America, Americans want trucks. They want trucks that can deliver the power. Okay, they want trucks that can deliver the sound.
Right.
They want trucks that can deliver dependability. They don't want 4-cylinder turbos in their pickup trucks. The Americans don't want that. Also, Americans want a viable large SUVs. We're not talking about. That's the reason why Ford did away with the Corsair. Lincoln did away with the Corsair. Yeah. That's the reason why some of these smaller SUVs and everything, because Americans want utility and they want size. Okay, and for a truck, they want dependability and power. Right. So they had to make a change. So what they did was they put in one of the best car guys that there is in North America, Tim Kuniskis, as Ram brand CEO. Mm-hmm. He went in and he said, we have to move the needle. We're losing market share to our truck competitors. And when he says losing market share, every Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram store was losing market share on Ram, Jeep product, the whole 9 yards. But he came in and pretty much single-handedly said, okay, we're going to move the needle here. We're going to do a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on all of our 2026 Ram products. Yeah. You remember when they first announced it, they were really only going to do it for like a month and a half. Mm-hmm. It was just going to be like the spur on the 26. And Kuniskis came in and said, no, you don't do that here in North America. Whenever you make an announcement, you put it on for a model year.
Yeah.
Okay, at least.
That's like his version of sending, for makeup to the girlfriend or boyfriend, some flowers and some chocolates.
Yeah.
They got to make up for past mistakes.
So Tim Kniskis' job was to move the needle to get more market share on Ram. And guess what? Whenever you put that 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on it, it moved the needle. It did. We started recapturing market share. Ram is one of the hottest pickup trucks, selling pickup trucks on the marketplace. They have incredible rebates on them. They have the best warranty on them. So as you can see, he really moved the needle to gain that valuable market share. So he really knows what Americans like, and how to sell cars in North America. So I did some research last night because Tim Kniskis actually got put in an advisory role, okay, over the North American auto sales and everything. So they have a CEO for each brand. They have a CEO for Jeep. They have a CEO for Ram. They have a CEO of Dodge. So Stellantis has got a CEO for each brand. Yeah. Well, the one thing about it is, it's like the CEO for Jeep was European guy. So anyway, he got sick. When he got sick, they announced Brandon Cody, okay, and I think that's the way you pronounce the little E with a little slash on it. Cote?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, is it Cody or Cote?
I would say probably Cote, but that's it sounds fancy. So I don't know if how his appeal is in the U.S. market. I know one thing though, Kniskis, regardless of what he's done so far, he's been kind of the face of this shift back to. So
Cote, he joins with 2 decades of experience leading OEM and dealer retail operations in the industry. Yeah. Most recently with AutoNation and brand president. He has been with Aston Martin. He's been with Mercedes. So he knows the market, but he's been over here with AutoNation. So he knows his whole retail strategy is selling in North America. Yeah. So that's the point that they got him with, and not to mention he's a long time top tier car executive. Yeah. So that's going to be our guy for the Jeep brand. Our guy for the Ram brand, taking over for Kniskis, is Matt Van Dyke. It actually July 20th he's already taken over as CEO. Okay. Like I said, Kniskis has already went into an advisory role and everything. So he joins Ram as a seasoned industrial executive, most recently serving as president of Shift Digital, which is a leading digital marketing firm. See the theme here. Right. Marketing in North America is what they're trying to get into here, and put a strong footprint in that. Prior to joining Shift, he served as CEO of Ford Direct and had several roles of Ford Motor Company, including the head of U.S. marketing and VP marketing. So a lot of history there with Ford, bringing it over here. So American Car Company, a longtime CEO of a couple different marketing companies. Yeah. So you can kind of see that's where they're shifting focus, going from European marketing model to a North American marketing model, and more specifically what Americans like. Right. So that's kind of like the move that the parent company Stellantis is doing right now.
Well, beyond their sort of like in-your-face ads that have talked about the power coming back and that sort of thing, in the last 10 years or so, that's one thing I have kind of found a little bit lacking, is their presence just in like a commercial. We would have maybe 1 or 2 pop up in the year that would really be like killer commercials that would just spark interest. I think they went the funny route for a little while, and that was cool. But I don't know that it necessarily sparked interest. I think it just kind of brought to light, hey, there's a new Wagoneer, come check it out. The comedian lady, when she got up there and got kind of risque.
And that was right around the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So anytime anytime you're going to dish out $1 billion, I don't know how much that it costs. It don't cost $1 billion, but it may be. But anytime you're going to dish out for a full minute length ad or 90-second ad, that's a long ad, right? So anytime you're going to dish out that much money to run that lengthy of an ad, it better be something catchy.
No doubt.
I can go ahead and tell you.
Yeah, you don't want to pull even though it worked for Kanye, a minute of you sitting there staring at your phone, doing an ad for your product. You got to make it shine. You got to make it stand out. He made it stand out because it was so bad.
Yeah.
But you got to find your niche, and I think car companies, they can't pull that off.
The comedian I did, the lady comedian, I can't remember her name. It was a funny commercial, but did it really stick out? Did it sell us any more vehicles?
Right.
That's another thing. But really, when you're advertising that big of a stage, really kind of sticking out is what you're looking for.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you want to be the one people are replaying the ad on
the next day.
Right. Yeah, they're watching the YouTube, just the clip of all ads for the Super Bowl. I do that almost every year because, I'm watching the game and I have to walk away, use the bathroom, or go get some food or something when the commercial.
Yeah, the day after the Super Bowl, if you're unlucky enough to have to go to work the next day, but you click on the morning news as you're getting ready for work and everything, and they'll say, "Okay, next up, we're going to recap the America's favorite Super Bowls ads or commercials."
Oh yeah, they get even more playtime.
Yeah,
they ain't even got to pay for those spots.
Right. That's what you want to be on.
Yeah.
You want to be on the next day discussion. And then that's going to follow up, pick up on social media and snowball for another couple more days. Mm-hmm. That's what you want whenever you advertise that big.
Wild how that's become such a competitive sphere to have the one that stands out the most, even if you're not necessarily touting your product, just as long as you get some viewership, that's the key.
That's the key. Yep.
So I'm glad that they're shifting the marketing. So maybe we'll get some more sort of in-depth things. I watch their YouTubes and I'll clip in and see like their walk-arounds and talking about the different products, like the Jeep thing where they had a different Jeep model every single month. The 4x12 I think was what it was called, or 12x4. But they have had like a marketing plan, but I don't know that it sold more cars. And so when we have leadership coming in that can be competitive in that market, gain viewership and gain market share back, that's going to be good for everybody.
Yeah,
Chrysler Dodge Jeep store.
Absolutely. So everybody knows what happened in 22 and 23 whenever inflation rose. So, these vehicles went crazy, and everybody knows it. These vehicles went crazy, and you had a truck that was selling for $60,000, a pretty loaded up truck, and now that same truck's now $80,000.
Right.
That's a lot of difference. $20,000 difference in about a 2-year swing. And think about that. That MSRP was ticking up like $3,000 a month. Some months inflation was going up. So well, guess what? They figured out, hey, we can't do that. We can't do that and sell vehicles. Right. Well, duh. No way you can go up $20,000 on a $60,000 truck and figure out, hey, people will go ahead and do this. It's just inflation. No, people ain't going to do that.
Right. Yeah. At the end of the day,
they can't do it, first of all.
Yeah, I was going to say, they still got bills to pay that are outside of that. It's not like everybody's income went up, 150%.
Yeah. So they were all about the profit of right then, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that's the reason why that guy got booted out. That's the reason why dealers took out a full-page ad in the United States, USA Today, to go ahead and trounce him and to go ahead and get his tail on out of there, and to get new leadership in, because the stakeholders were losing money hand over fist because they weren't selling any vehicles in North America. Why? Because they were only worried about making profit right then and there. And it hurt our brand. It hurt our sales here at the dealership level, at every single CDJR store level and everything. And the dealers lost confidence in the CEO. So he's out. We got new leadership in. It doesn't change overnight.
Right.
We're still probably a year and a half away until we come out with some new product like the Dakota coming out in 28, okay, and a couple of other things happening, until some things happen in 2028, right now is the time where we can recapture some market share because our marketing is a lot better. We can focus on, and hopefully they'll leave the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, powertrain warranty on 2027 Rams. Told you I was going to look into that.
Yeah.
I have not found a decisive answer on that as well.
Yeah.
So, whoever out there in Ram land, okay, Mr. Van Dyke, if you can go ahead and please keep on that 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on the 27 Rams. I'm talking directly to you right now, like you'll see the podcast.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
somebody will show it to them and say, these guys in Eastern North Carolina's got the hottest automotive podcast in the automotive industry. Mr. Van Dyke, you've got to listen to this. But regardless, if you put in the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, I think we're going to keep that market share, keep that edge. And it's another thing that the sales guys all across America can advertise for you.
Yeah.
And do a doggone good job at it too.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's got to be, just like we use football analogies a lot. We both love football, but teams have their rebuilding year. Sometimes you have a Super Bowl team, you go out and you kill it, and then 2-3 years later, everybody's riding that high, and then suddenly, they're playing like crap because they've already done it, and so they get phased out because they feel like, oh yeah, we made all this happen, and they're not willing to put in the effort anymore because they feel like maybe they've already accomplished their goals. Well, Ram as a whole, or maybe they're injured. There's all kinds of scenarios in football, but I think we might have got injured a little bit, and we had to get our new quarterback, and get some people that can catch the ball and take it back to the end zone. So
yeah, look, you have to have good players on the field. In football, you have to have good players on the field that can carry out. So you have a game plan, and your game plan is normally going to be handled by your CEO, and that's going to be your game plan. Then it's up to you, and then it's up to your top tier executives, your coaches. Your coaches are going to go ahead and make sure that the talent on the field knows what to do.
Right.
But now talent is talent. So whenever you have 11 players on the field, if you have mid-tier talent, it doesn't matter how good your coaching is going to be. Okay,
right.
You're probably going. If you have mid-tier talent, you may be with great coaching, you may be above average,
right?
Because your talent's only average. But if you combine great coaching and you combine great talent, Super Bowls happen, right. Championships happen, national championships happen. That's so right. That's kind of like where the phase we're in. Good analogy, Bob.
Yeah, no, I when we were talking about it earlier, I was thinking to myself, man, this football season's coming, and I already got my dues for fantasy. So I'm
I got to crank up
this year.
Yeah, I haven't cranked. I've got a long running fantasy football. I do. It's every single year. We've been doing it since 2001.
Yeah, we had our work league last year, which somebody won that. I don't remember who it was, but
who was it, Bobby?
I think it was me. Actually, it was me.
It was you. You had the best team all year long.
Yeah, it was. Sometimes you just luck up and get a good draft. We're going way out into left field here talking about fantasy, but I think it's important though. I thought it was a good team building aspect of the dealership because we could go in and we have that sort of just talking trash.
Yeah,
and,
we could flap our gums a little bit.
Yeah. It's good to have things like that outside of just being competitive. For the belt or salesman of the month. Right now we got a tight race,
and the entry fee wasn't that much.
Yeah.
It was $20 or something like that.
Right. It was more for the love of the game,
camaraderie, and flapping your jaw, talking a little junk.
That's right. Yeah, I think it's important. Just one of those things that if you're at a dealership, maybe consider it if you haven't. That it could be advantageous to keeping somebody around, or maybe getting somebody out that doesn't play fair ball. The other team. I don't know why I'm going off on that tangent, but I played against. I'll go ahead and just to say I played against the other guy's manager at the other team, and he hit the road, and guess what? He lost.
He led.
His tail lost.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah, he said sayonara to the other store, and then
He got trounced.
He got trounced by this guy. He sure did. And I was pulling for you, Lloyd, by the way. But anyway,
little bragging rights. I got to move on from that guy. I don't know. What
Bobby's the fantasy football champ. Can we move on? Good gosh. Talked 5 minutes about fantasy football.
I know. I'm excited for the rest of this week, though. I'm looking forward to trying to get my goal. That's my focus the rest of this week. It's not football. Is getting these extra 4 or 5 or 6 cars because we got to really pound and make it happen.
Well, you know, I said the middle part of the week is go time, right?
Yeah.
So this is it. This is the only time. The last 4 days of the month. And see, I kind of put 3 in there, you know, so one of your days individually, you may be able to sell a car, and I hope you sell 2 cars each of the 4 days. That would be a great ending. But, you know, one of your days probably is going to be a setup day. Because in the car business, you're doing one of 2 things. Either you're selling a car or you're setting yourself up to sell a car. Yeah. And usually you got to have a setup day. So, you know, it's 4 days left to go in the month. So you got 4 days left to make your month. Everybody right now is on their particular figure. Everybody right now is calculating in their head, this is where I need to end up at. Okay? Because reality is struck. It's no longer the first part of the month on what you want to do. Okay, now it's about what you've done and where you have to be, right?
Right.
So that sense of urgency goes up, but not only that goes up, but the customer sense of urgency also goes up. So you've got 2 sense of urgencies that are colliding. Like I've got a guy coming in today from Elizabeth City to get this Jeep because he knows his $4,500 rebate might not be there.
That's right.
Whenever it gets there, you know? And so it's sort of like the customer wants to come in and get it done for the end of the month, no much more than the salesperson does. So that usually creates for harmony in the sales market. That's the reason why the last day of the month or the last couple of days of the month, there's so much of a big push. And we get in probably about, in the last 2 days of the month, I'd probably say we get in about 10% of our business from just the last 2 days of the month.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Somewhere right around there.
That makes sense. You know, you got the little bit of FOMO that goes on both in the salesperson side and the customer side because, like, right now we don't know if this rebate's going to hang around for the up to 25% off on the trucks. You know,
we don't know anything about any point in time. You know, they kept everything consistent for a while, and we told everybody that the 2.9% would be leaving, and it did.
Right.
But then they replaced it with something that even comes out better for your higher end truck shoppers.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, wow. Okay, well, we knew that was going to be going away, but wow, they really put doggone good rebates on this. So, you know, some cases, it depends on what model of truck you're looking at, $18,000 off, $21,000 off, $23,000 off. It's big money off of vehicles right now, off of Ram pickups.
Yeah. I've got just a few more customers that I think maybe need that extra push.
You got a ProMaster van going out.
Yeah.
One of our work vans, you have that going out. So that's one.
Yep.
What else you got?
This is how it goes in the morning meeting sometimes. What do you got? Okay, we got 3 for you. You got 3 committed. All right. And then we end up having it. It does help to kind of build in your mind, though. But I'm hoping maybe my man will go in on a truck, realize that the deal's really solid, may have to give up that he can't get his color choice in order to get the best deal. And then I have another fellow I met that, you know, he wanted to have a rebate on top of the standalone rebate. And I just, you know, there's little things like that it just become a part of the sort of ups and downs of describing these rebates. People, I don't understand how we could want more. It was like $23,000 off. It's like,
here's a true story, not really a showroom story, but very quickly, just dealing with customers here.
Yeah.
So, I pencil up a deal on a Ram pickup truck, I'm taking $19,100 off of this truck, right?
Right.
$19,100 off. I give the deal to the sales consultant. The sales consultant comes back up to the desk after about 10 minutes, and he says, he wants you to take off another $2,000. And I go, I just took off $19,100 off on this pickup truck.
Right.
And he goes, he knows. He wants a couple more $1,000. He think he can do it. And I was like, all right, well, let me go in here and talk to him. So I go in there and talk to him and everything. I say, sir, I don't have any more money to give off of this. I mean, when we're advertising our Ram pickup trucks at a bare minimum, some of them are cheaper than this, but at a bare minimum of $1,000 under factory invoice, I'm just not whistling Dixie. I'm actually doing that, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm not just saying I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Right.
And so whenever you're advertising online to your very lowest number and everything, and somebody comes in, I think you can do another $2,000 off. Well, I could, but it wouldn't be fair for my family. It wouldn't be fair for the salesperson's family. It wouldn't be fair to the dealership to do that, because it's just not right to say, hey, yeah, I think I'll lose $2,000 a day just cause. Right. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, so some deals you pass on and everything. But we did wind up selling them. We were able to come to an agreement, and I did throw in some rubber mats for them, and you know, we were able to come to an agreement and everything. So
It comes down to sometimes that that compromise and loving on people and letting them know that, you know, we do have a business. You know, we got to run. We can't just lose money for no purpose. There is a potential customer that could be looking at that same truck, and this is just, I think, the flip side to what he's asking, that could come in and buy it for what we have it advertised for, and then we have not lost that potential $2,000 or whatever if we were to somehow cave and do that because of, you know, some number or something we got to hit.
well, it's just not right.
Yeah.
It's not right to, okay, I'm putting my vehicles out there. I'm really putting all my chips on the table on these online prices.
Right.
I'm not holding anything back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm selling them for what I'm selling for. Now, when folks come in, is there a little bit of negotiation with, you know, on the trade-in? Yeah, if they got a trade-in, I'll be happy to negotiate a little bit on that. If it's within reason, and I'm never going to lose a deal for $200 or $300. Right. So if it's something within reason and everything, but if I'm advertising my vehicles at $1,000 under factory invoice, okay, and I need to go lower than that, then there's something wrong there. Right. Either the customer isn't sold on the vehicle, or either the salesperson didn't do a good job enough building value in the vehicle. Something is wrong there when you're taking $19,000 off on a pickup truck and the customer automatically hits you. Hey, look, and some customers just test you.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
Which I think this was the case. I had a younger salesperson on the job. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think the younger salesperson did a fine job on the test drive and everything. Mm-hmm. And this person was about 50 years old, seasoned car buyer, and all this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. And I think he just testing. And when I went over there, you know, whoop whoop, this ain't no test. Yeah, we're trying to sell you a truck, but you have to be reasonable here. I'm already taking $19,000 off. Yeah, there you go.
That mentality is it's tough to overcome, but I think when people are reasonable, they understand. You know.
Yeah.
And that's just a part of the business. And I'm grateful that we can do that because it makes my job easier. I'm already trying to do my best to build value, but when we had the best price right off the bat, you know, it makes us as transparent as we can be in this business, and still try to make a car deal where it works for both sides, for the dealership, the customer, and you know, everybody's happy.
That's what makes a car deal.
Right.
You know, when the customer's happy and the dealership's happy, that's what makes a car deal. Mm-hmm. And it just depends. Is there a situation where I will lose $2,000 on a new vehicle? Yeah. If you pick out a vehicle, I can tell you right now, if you pick out a vehicle, then the stock number's like 260050, you know, and we're in stock number, and we've had 530 new vehicles since then, and that vehicle's still here.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk.
Right.
I'm ready to roll it. But you know, it's somewhat depending on the vehicle, but in the big scheme of things, we advertise our price, a market-based price, to get folks in the door to sell them at that price. Right. We make this much profit on a vehicle. If we take in a trade-in, we've got to recondition the trade-in, we've got to spend money on the trade-in, and all this is real. Okay, I have to pay the technician to go ahead and do the PDI. All this is real money that's spent putting money back into a trade-in. You know, get everything reconditioned, detail it, all the wear and tear items replaced, all that kind of stuff to get ready to go onto the lot to the next person. And then what do we do with the used car? We market-based price our used car. Most of our used cars out here, pre-owned selection, is way below NADA retail, or what we call J.D. Power retail now.
Right.
So most of our used cars are below that. You know, so not only are we going down to our lowest denominator on new, but when we take in a trade-in, we can recondition it right. And here's the theory behind it. If we can sell 3 customers and make this much on all 3 customers, that's a lot better and a lot better advertising word of mouth than selling 1 customer and making this much.
Yeah.
So that's the theory behind it.
Right.
We'd rather have the word of mouth and more customers traveling around in our product, singing our praises. East Carolina did a great job. East Carolina's a good bunch of folks. Go see Brian at East Carolina, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
That's our philosophy on a winning formula or strategy. Not to make a buku lot of money on one vehicle. We want to earn your business for life. We don't want to stick you in a vehicle and you go, man, them guys got me, and you never return.
Right. Yeah.
Big scheme of things.
That's it. Hey, look, that's awesome that we can run well, I'm not running it, but I'm a part of the business, that the business is ran that way, that we can be transparent, and also you can look for yourself. Everybody has the tools. I mean, I sold a Wagoneer last week that was so well below the market value that it was like, when you looked at the NAD, or not NADA, but JD Power book value, man, we were like $8,000 behind JD Power, which, you know, some people might think that we can just print those numbers up or something, but that's from the source. You know, that comes from a third party, and it's what banks loan off of. It's not like we can.
And JD Powers won't let you cheat on nothing.
Right.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And that's what they're kind of there for.
And ultimately, even though they did ask for some more off, I was confident in the price, and I knew that because partially I didn't even have to
If
look
retail
at
is
JD Power.
here, if retail's here, and I'm offering to sell it to you for here, what advantage is it to me to sell it to you for this much?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I have to go back on the screen a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to be right here.
That's right.
So that's kind of like your thing. What advantage are you talking me into about giving you a cheaper price on this vehicle, whether you're already getting it for $8,000 under retail?
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm not. You're not going to be able to talk me into an advantage. You've already got an advantage here.
Right. Yeah, you come in with the advantage.
But,
man, what a great episode. We covered so much stuff. I know that we're coming into the last few days of the month. By the time this airs, we'll be on our last day of the month.
right.
And so to all the salespeople watching this, get off the YouTube and go sell your last few cars.
But before you do, make sure you hit the subscribe.
That's right. Don't
Okay,
forget.
make sure you hit the subscribe. And next week we're going to do an early plug. But we've got to get a little bit more subscribers.
Yep.
It just takes one of you, okay, and then the next one, and then the next one, and that's all we ask. But go down there and hit that subscribe button, and we appreciate everybody that listens. Appreciate all the kind comments. And actually, we had somebody come in the other day to the dealership, and he says, "Yeah, I watch." And he goes, "It's the hottest podcast in the automotive industry today." Bobby was like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah, call tag's working. All right, rock and roll.
So we appreciate it, guys. But Brian and Bobby, we're going to be out, and we'll see you next time.
See y'all next week. Have a great day.
Take care.